Good afternoon, you Prep Panthers. We are here on our very first Prep Talk podcast, hosted by me, Shayna Davis, and
Caleb Gunapay.
Today, our special guest is our dean, Mr. Lawrence. How are you doing today, Mr. Lawrence?
I'm good. You can call me Jerry for this.
Sure. All right, Jerry. All right. So our first topic at hand is important news around the school. Okay. How is our school doing overall?
That's a good question. I think our school is doing pretty well. It always depends on who you ask. I think that, culturally, everyone, for the most part, is happy. Of course, whenever you have 600 people on a campus, there's going to be a lot of different opinions about things. But I think generally speaking, we're in a good place. Of course, things can always get better. Things can always be updated or altered. But for the most part, I think we're doing okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Caleb?
Okay. I say with the school is kind of, for me, I would say the school, it does very much need room for improvement, but at the same time, we all try our best. We all do the best that we can. And I think that's very important for everybody to understand that they do try. Jerry, Callum, Washington, they try to put up with us every day. They had their bad days, good days, you feel me? But, yeah, it's kind of like that.
Well, can I keep going on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, this is part of it, right? So I don't know that you all know this, so this is some history, but I started teaching. I used to be a middle school English teacher.
Wait, hold on. No. You said middle school English? You taught?
Yeah, I was a 7th and 8th grade.
You taught kids.
Yeah.
You taught kids.
So actually about the same time as that picture of me with the bandana that's been going around. So that is when I was a teacher. I was teaching in Baltimore, Go Ravens, middle school. And so Baltimore City public schools, I taught in DC public schools. I haven't taught in Detroit public schools, but I just know what other school environments look like. And I think a lot of times, especially our students who've only been to UPrep Elementary, UPrep Middle, and UPrep High, have this idea about what school should look like. Yeah. And they have no idea how advanced and how progressive a lot of the things that we do are in terms of schools that exist inside cities. We're far and away ahead of a lot of schools. And as much as you all think there's room for improvement, and of course that there is, I need you all to understand that it could look a whole lot different.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean by different?
Well, a lot of schools don't even have windows, right? So that's the first thing that you all take for granted.
I have noticed.
Have you all ever driven by some of the schools in the city?
I was about to
Can't see inside of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, you all know that you don't have, when I taught in Baltimore, all of our kids have to walk through metal detectors. You guys have never experienced that.
No. I've experienced that before in elementary school.
Well, a lot of our kids is what I'm saying, right? Like the award show that we do, that's not happening.
I've never seen that happen anywhere else besides UPrep.
Almost 24/7 access to an administrator via Instagram, cell phones. You all pass my phone number around like candy. That's not real. That's not a thing at other places. And so a lot of you guys take for granted a lot of things that aren't common, but it's common for you. And so you don't appreciate it the way that other kids might, especially some of our transfer kids. If you talk to them, it's just a whole different place because of some of the schools that they've come from. And that's no shade to other schools. It's just that a lot of the stuff, it's not, a lot of the stuff that we do is very different. But if you've never been anywhere, then you don't really quite understand that. And so I get it. And so when people say they don't like me or whatever the case may be, I kind of take it with a grain of salt because they don't know what the other side can look like.
Yeah, I really can't say anything because I've been at UPrep my entire life.
And that's a great thing. It's a great thing, but it can be a lot different in other places.
Yeah.
I've been hopped around from school to school,
I don't have a choice. So.
I ended up coming to UPrep in 4th grade, so it wasn't. I kind of know what it's like, what Jerry is saying, kind of like how we say we take for granted. But at the same time, I've been through some of those things where I had to walk through a metal detector in order to go to school. So it's kind of like it's a give and take. So some people see the problem and appreciate it more, and others tend to take what they have for granted and overuse it. and he's probably saying that's becoming a problem now.
Oh, I know they can't see it, but I'm showing pictures of my classroom.
That's small?
When I was a teacher. I mean, it's not that small. It's probably bigger than a lot of your classrooms, but these kids are a lot of, they're probably in college now. So.
Right.
So, okay. Anyway, sorry.
So how old are you?
My name is Jerry. I'm 33 years old.
Ooh, you getting up there.
I sure am.
I really can't say that because my mom is 35.
You said 33?
So.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, when was you born?
1986.
Ooh. Mr. Lawrence, come on now. You're getting old, man.
So everybody's going to get old.
All right, so last week.
Was it last week?
I believe it was last week. Was it? I believe it was last week or the week before?
No, it was the week before.
Week before. There was a drug search, if I'm correct.
That was kind of scary on certain aspects.
Yeah, because first we got the police walking around.
What was scary about it?
Because we got the police walking around with dogs.
Yeah.
That's first of all.
That's
Black
scary
people and
in
dogs
itself.
don't, you hear a dog barking, you know you gotta run.
Right.
You feel me? Otherwise,
Wait
you
a
getting
minute.
caught, you getting bit or something.
Okay.
So, and then second of all, it's the police. And you know how...
You do anything wrong?
You said what?
Did you do anything wrong?
No.
I ain't doing anything wrong. I'm just saying. The police can be scary at times, even if you did do something wrong. Didn't or
but
did
on
not.
a real note, like, we are black, so that takes
I get
into
it.
account too.
So, but let's talk about why. Is that what you're going to ask?
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do you feel like about weed consumption or edibles, and
How do
what
I
do you
feel about it?
Yeah, like what do you think going forward will be your best
First of all,
case
it's an
scenario?
illegal substance.
So I'm not a person who is totally anti-weed. It's apparently it has a lot of natural healing things about it, right? But what I also am is very pro-kid, right? And so what I know is that a human brain doesn't stop developing until about 26 or 27. And for guys, Caleb's really like 30. So I just stopped, actually.
Dang, so we stay stupid.
Doesn't that make sense now?
We stay stupid until we're 30.
So, obviously, if you're paying attention to the news, you know that weed has been legalized in Michigan, right, as of last year. But what does that mean? It means that if you're over the age of 21, then legally you can do what you want to do, right? However, you cannot drive under the influence, right? You can't be in public places with it. You can just be at your house, right? And so when we talk about weed here at the school, well, nobody's 21,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Nobody is
Not
26.
We're still minors.
Not that we know of.
Nobody's 26. Nobody's 30.
Not that we know of.
And so your brain is still developing, right?
Right.
And so obviously from the school standpoint, we want you all to stay as clean as possible so you can be as healthy as possible down the line. The other part about it is it's just like it's nowhere in life is anyone going to take you serious if you walk around smelling like
Weed.
a blunt or smelling like weed. Like you can't get a job. Like it's not reality.
Yeah, it's
so
a lot of jobs and stuff smell like that all the time.
So why people think it's cool or whatever, that's really like some teenage stuff. Like it's really not. And we're a school, so schools are always drug-free zones, right? So you put all of that together, it really just doesn't make any sense to bring it here.
But what if like they smoke it at home and then come to school? Was that still a problem?
Well, you can't be high here either. You can't be high. You're not 21 years old.
Right.
And so why you would come to school high, I don't know, right? So go ahead, Shane.
There was a question going around the school, and
a question going around or a rumor? Because
no, it was a question.
You guys love rumors.
No, it was a question. So the question was, well, what are they going to do if someone around me smokes it and then I come to school smelling like it because I was around them?
Yeah, I have that problem.
What would be your answer to that?
Well, nothing, right? The answer is nothing, okay? But the problem is you all lie so much for no reason.
You don't know what to believe.
Exactly.
Right.
And so, I mean, I know what to believe most of the time because I get lied to 100 times a day. So I've been able to figure out how to tell if people are telling the truth or not.
I get it.
And so, of course, we understand that some things are out of kids' control, right?
Right.
And so I know sometimes you guys think I'm like the worst person on earth. I'm pretty understanding, right? And that's all that takes is a conversation with somebody to say, yeah, that's my fault. I won't do it again when I'm dropping them off, whatever.
We don't think you're the worst person. You know,
Yeah.
well, some people might
I
think
mean,
that.
No,
sometimes,
some
but you
people
have to
do,
think of
but
it.
we can have that conversation later if you guys want. But for this conversation, everything I do is about discernment, and I don't know if you all know what discernment means, but I have
You
to
already know. I don't know what that means.
pick
I don't
and
even know why you tried
choose my battles, right, and pick and choose what consequences I want to give based on a kid, based on their situation, based on the truth, right? And so every day I'm faced with making a decision that's going to alter something for a kid and for their family. Mm-hmm. And so I try to take, it's a big responsibility.
Every precaution.
So I try to take everything as serious as I possibly can before I make a decision like that. And so
some people might take the wrong reason because of how serious you are about every situation.
I have to be because
you're the dean.
Yeah, right.
You have no choice.
He's doing his job.
You really do this for a living.
Doing my job.
You usually say that too. I'm just doing my job.
It's true.
All right, so next is like sports. So with the NBA, they've got the MVP, most improved player, for you guys who don't know, guys and girls who don't know, most improved player, most valuable player, rookie of the year, and stuff like that. So with the race going on right now, since the season just started pretty early, who do you think is gunning for those awards? So let's start with like MVP.
For basketball, that's what we're talking about, right? So I'll be very honest, I'm not all the way tuned into basketball season yet because my Baltimore Ravens are playing very well. Oh, my God. So when we talk about MVP for football, of course, got to be Lamar Jackson. That's the guy, and he's going to win MVP, and ideally will win the Super Bowl. But the little attention...
He brought the Super Bowl.
That's a bold statement right there.
The little attention that I have paid to the NBA so far this year... Obviously, Brown looks good. Luka Doncic looks...
Wash King.
Yeah, Luka Doncic looks really good. Trae Young had a hot start.
Low-key look like he's still going, too.
Yeah, so I think that Harden is going to do what Harden does.
Drop 40 every game on the regular.
Yeah, so I think that LeBron...
Still losing the playoffs.
Is probably going to end up somewhere around the top.
You think LeBron going to take it?
If he keeps at it.
Well, he did just break a world record yesterday. Only player to score a triple-double against every team.
It's a lot of triple-doubles. So I think that in terms of like Rookie of the Year, I don't even remember who the number one pick was this year.
Ja Morant.
No, Zion. Of course, Zion.
I think Ja Morant was second.
Ja Morant will probably win Rookie of the Year because Zion hasn't got started yet. So that would be my pick for that. For most improved player, in a scary way, Luka, right? Because... now he's playing at a superstar level, and he was just a rookie last year. So
the person that surprised me the most coming out this year was Trae Young, Devin Booker. I know Devin Booker could do it, but the thing with Devin Booker is it's kind of like the team he's on, and
they're playing well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had to carry them for 2 whole seasons by himself.
I don't know. So I guess for MVP it would be Bron. Most improved player, I'm gonna go with Luka. Rookie of the Year, I'm gonna go with Ja. I think the Lakers, of course, are going to win the title. I think on the west side, it'll be the Lakers versus Clippers. On the east side, it'll be the Celtics, and probably I don't know. I think the Sixers, and then the Celtics and the Lakers.
The Sixers looking pretty good, but I don't think they're going to be able to handle. First of all, you totally leaving out the Raptors.
Yeah, they're not gonna get. They're not gonna do very well.
Pascal Siakam too cold. I don't want to hear it. Spicy P.
Lakers and Celtics in the finals. Lakers win the finals. Fun fact: back in 2008, when the Lakers and Celtics met in the finals, I was living in Los Angeles. I went to a finals game. It was great.
Dang.
Yeah, surprise!
You really are old. Jesus. What was I doing in 2008?
My brother was being born.
That's me.
Oh, snap.
Oh, gosh.
Big head.
Y'all are not able to see this, but oh my God.
Thank the Lord you cut your hair. Because my Lord, what was going on with that?
A little bit of everything.
Nah, a little bit of nothing. Cause like you wasn't taking care of me, big homie. Come on now.
I have a question though.
Yes, Shayna.
Hey, what's the question?
What team is Kyrie Irving on?
Brooklyn Nets.
Okay, cool.
That's
who I wanted to know.
That's who you know?
Yeah, that's who I know.
How do you know him? Why do you know him?
I know him from Uncle Drew.
Oh, okay. Okay, I forgot about the movie.
I love Kyrie Irving.
I love Kyrie Irving. Even though he ain't gonna win another ship. If we just keeping it 100, he not win another ship. Even if KD at the Nets, he gotta wait a whole season. He not finna win this season. next season KD come back, still gonna be a high probability of not winning.
We'll see. You can't say anything until KD comes back and you see what they got. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I like KD.
You never know. People could make moves next season.
DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. KD, me, Wale, all of us from the area. I love DC.
KD, let's not talk about him. You know, he a different case. Some people know how I feel about him. You know, he's about to make the inner Caleb come out. You know how it be. Especially with KD and how he went to the Warriors. I don't like him no more.
Whatever. People like
whatever.
That's
whatever.
Over now. So,
yeah, I know it's over.
Go Lakers. That's all I worry about. But really, right now, it's go Ravens, and that's forever.
My brother is in love with the Lakers.
Yeah.
So, recently, you know, with the Duralabel collab, right?
Oh man!
You explain can you explain a little bit about what that is?
How it came to be?
Yeah, how it came to be and stuff like that.
So I don't know if you all pay attention, but like every year, I try to do something, a couple of things that are kind of fun and different, and nobody else is doing around the city. And so, over the summer, actually, I had emailed the owner of the Duralabel, who is the sibling of a former employee here before you guys got here. And I didn't hear anything. I'm like, wow, they're really trying to play us.
They're really trying to play us.
But I don't know if you guys know this person, but Jess Chelsea, the photographer who's been up at the school a bunch, used to go here. So she had posted something on her Instagram interacting with the Duralabel, and I asked her, like, hey, I sent this email to him over the summer, like, is there a way you can get this in front of him? And she said, yeah. So later that day, we got on the phone, and I sort of told him because I had seen these bear shirts that he had been doing, and I thought we need to get one. Why not?
Why not?
So we got on the phone, and we made it happen. And so from the first phone conversation to when I posted it on Instagram was like 4 days. That's how long it took to make it happen, and he was excited, and of course, I'm excited about it.
Was this a first time thing to collab with something like that?
Oh,
for our school?
Well, not only for our school, but you ever seen it anywhere in any other high school?
No, not really.
Never.
All right. Like that.
All right, so I think that.
All right.
So
He's trying to flex. He's trying to flex on the other schools. Hey, coming for y'all.
So I think that answers the question. But very excited about it. I want to do more things like that. It's fun to like make our little uniforms or whatever, but stuff like that gets me excited.
So what you're saying is this is long lasting.
I mean, I'd love to work with the Duralabel again. We haven't had any conversations about that, but
would it be more partnerships in the future?
There'll be more partnerships.
I'm feeling it.
And
I'm feeling
if anybody who's listening to this knows anybody at the Wealthy brand, tell them I need to talk to them.
Future collab?
Just tell them I need to talk to them.
Is that something you're trying to foresee in the future? Future collab? Any other people you want to shout out right now?
All kinds of stuff. I want to do stuff at restaurants. I want to do all kinds of stuff and have a youth prep night at a restaurant.
Youth prep night at a restaurant.
We collab.
That'd be so
that's on the
awesome.
drawing board?
Well, I can't tell you guys everything, but I got a lot of things always on the drawing board.
Hey, we only got one more year here.
That's what I'm saying. You got to tell us a couple things.
Well, see, this is what happens with the seniors. And I'm not, like, every year. It's like you do something, and then the class that just graduated is like, man, you never did that when we were there.
What?
So
we'll get over it.
I mean, you should have been there.
But the point is, going back to what I said initially, like, I'm always trying to figure out ways to make things better, different, more fun. And so whatever we can do to do that, I'm with it. So
cool.
Yeah. I low-key like the shirt, too. The shirt look nice. Especially with the bear, with the U up.
I want the sweatshirt.
Which one of y'all came up with that? They came up with that, or you did?
Well, I mean, we obviously worked together. The bear is his thing. The U is our thing.
Exactly. So it's just
we put it together.
All right. So, what is your favorite childhood show and or movie?
Okay. I didn't really watch cartoons when I was a kid.
Huh?
That probably doesn't surprise a lot of people.
He was born in '86. Never mind.
No, I just I watched SportsCenter when I would wake up an hour early before school, like before I needed to wake up. I woke up at 6 a.m. when I was a kid just so I could watch Sports Center the way through, and then I would get up and get ready.
You know, I was on Cartoon Network.
I didn't really Network. Well, I didn't like. I still don't really like animated things, so like I've never seen it. You guys are about to kill me. I've never seen an episode of SpongeBob. I've never seen. And it's not because I'm old. It's just like I just don't care.
And you wonder why the kids in school don't like you. I'm just saying, it all ties together.
I never seen an episode of The Simpsons. Like I never watched.
This is why the kids in school.
I know.
Family Guy.
We figured it out.
I've never seen.
Come on now, we figured it out. This is why the kids don't like you because you ain't out here watching nothing.
But here's the other part of it, and I know this is not really the question, but I don't really watch a lot of movies either. Because I watch sports all the time, and basketball games are 2.5 hours, and football games are 3 hours.
You ain't go see Avengers Endgame?
I've never seen a Marvel movie.
Oh,
wait a minute! But didn't you go with us to go see Black Panther?
Black Panther is the only one.
Oh, all right, bro. Hold on.
I don't know anything about DC or Marvel or any of that.
Jerry Lawrence. Repeat what you just said.
Oh my God!
I've never seen a DC or Marvel movie.
Seen a DC or Marvel.
He's seen correction. He's seen
Panther,
one.
Whatever.
One.
Is that Marvel?
That's Marvel.
But that doesn't count. Everyone.
Is that which one is on the Disney Plus?
All Marvel movies are on Disney Plus. Speaking of Disney Plus, do you think Disney Plus will outrank Netflix?
I don't know.
Oh no! I think they is because nope, never mind. Because Netflix, I believe Netflix just partnered up with Nickelodeon.
They did.
So yeah, they coming back. They trying to come back with the fire, bro. And they start things like Victorious.
Yep, Victorious, Sam and Cat.
Yeah, all those old shows.
Next, you about to see iCarly. You know.
So I'm pretty sure they trying to compete with them.
They are because it's a meme going around saying
about me.
No,
bro.
No. It's a meme saying that Disney Plus has the partners with this, that, and the other. So you got like Hulu and people bought Hulu and DirecTV Plus.
ESPN got us something. Well, Disney owns ESPN. If you all didn't know, but
wait,
what?
Yeah, Disney owns ESPN.
Bro, Disney be on everything and don't tell nobody.
So
ain't no way. That's impossible.
So yeah, I don't know who's gonna win. It doesn't matter. I watch documentaries. I know it's boring, but that's what I like.
You know
you said you watch what?
Documentaries.
I would have to disagree with you on that. It's not boring all the time. It depends on what I'm watching, though.
I know some folks would consider me creative, but I really don't have much of an imagination. I just live in reality, and so
we can tell.
I really just like
don't watch SpongeBob, don't watch Simpsons, don't watch South Park, don't watch none of that. Talking about
Wait a minute. What about sitcoms? You've never watched one episode of Family Matters?
I watched like when I was
Lopez.
When like Martin. Now I'm gonna sound old, but like when Martin and Fresh Prince.
I
watched all that stuff.
I just don't like
that. Was out when we was growing up too.
Well, I know, but it was like out. Like it came on at 8:00 on a weekend. Now it comes on all the time. But you have to like catch it.
You caught the first episode, huh?
Yeah. Well, maybe not Fresh Prince. That was like a little bit before me, but I grew up watching that, like Saved by the Bell.
You was watching it from the beginning.
That is my show.
You couldn't wait for the next episode, couldn't you?
Yeah, we didn't have DVR and all of that other stuff, so you had to wait.
Yeah, I know all about that. My auntie is old school.
You missed it.
Yeah, it's true.
That's I just can't believe it.
There was a time before like Wi-Fi and cell phones were readily available.
I know. How did y'all live? Oh, y'all went outside.
No. Yeah, we went outside.
Y'all went outside.
Because if you think about it, from the time you're born till about 9-10 years old, you're living without a phone. That's how I did it.
But if you go out and you're like out at a restaurant or whatever, anything, and somebody's there with their little kid, what are they on?
The phone.
It might not be their phone, but they're on the phone or iPad or whatever.
Just to keep them occupied.
Yeah, we didn't have phones, but nowadays little kids be having phones.
Yeah, they had the tablets. My little brother is consumed into that tablet.
Everything is given to them on a silver platter.
Yeah, so it's crazy, but
my kids would not be growing up like that.
But yeah, so I don't know. I like growing up. So look. PSA for everybody, just be a kid. Being a kid is all you need to do until you. Trust me, being an adult, it's whack. So
yeah, we can tell you 33 ain't never watched SpongeBob. we know. We can tell. We can tell you've been going through it. So this part of the podcast, we have our guest choice, whatever the guest would like to talk about. So, Jerry, what would you like to talk about?
Well, I could talk about a lot of things.
Okay, one thing.
Keep it simple, please.
Well, let's have a conversation because this thing about I've been spending a lot of time thinking about kids. Kids be like, or teachers will come up. These kids, they really say they hate you. But I realize that folks don't really hate me because there's nothing to hate about me. But I'm gonna tell you why. Let me explain it. I feel like there's two kinds of kids that don't like me, right? Mm-hmm. So there's the kid who never does right, can't do right, won't do right, just wants to be a rebel, right? So then I have to do my job, right? And for whatever reason, they use not liking me as an excuse for why they can't do what they need to do, right? Right. That's one kid. The other kid is on the opposite end of that spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe got a 3.5 GPA a few times around here, so they think they know everything, right? And have a smart mouth.
People go to the school act like that,
right?
I ain't gonna lie.
And they have a smart mouth, but because they think they know everything and they don't have all the information, they just start saying wild things and making wild claims, and then I have to, because I'm smart too. I really am. I could run down the resume, but I don't want to do that right now.
Please okay. From 86 to now. Jesus.
But I also can have a smart mouth, right? And I got to be careful sometimes. But I got to dice people up with logic and practical information. And then they say, well, now I'm doing too much because I gave them the truth, right? So those kids don't like me either. And part of it is, between those two kids, that makes up a lot of our school. But everybody who's in the middle doesn't seem to have a problem with me, right?
I feel like it's like you have your days where you're very irritable and you don't really have time to waste, and people, especially on those days, like to test your patience.
Well, but I want to give. So even today, right? I told you it's 4:30 right now. I told you at 3:20, give me 10 minutes, right? And it took me a half hour. Why? Because I got pulled into something that is very serious. Yesterday, I dealt with two very serious, and I can't really talk about it, but I dealt with
confidential.
Two very serious situations with two kids that I care deeply about, right? And so I am a human being, right? And so you got to understand that sometimes this stuff can take a toll on you, right? I think I do a very good job of trying to manage all of the different things that I'm faced with, right?
Oh, management, yes, sir.
But and that's only here, right? And I'm about to share something with you that I'm going to share tomorrow at the award show, but since we're talking about it, I'll just say it. Many folks don't know that on October 9th, which was about a month and 2 weeks ago, my dad died. Right? And I'm not trying to get you all sad, so please don't go there. But I have a real life, right? And so
everybody is human,
right? And so on top of all of the stuff that goes on here, all of the nonsense that goes on here, all of the kids lying to me every day here, I go home. So my dad had cancer, right? And he got diagnosed in 2017. It was stage 4 pancreatic cancer, which is 2 years, or they gave him 3 to 6 months. And so he lived for 2 years. He was living with me over the summer into the school year, into 2 or 3 weeks into September. And then his health started failing. We really didn't have what we needed to take care of him. And so he went to the hospital, and then he went to a nursing home, and he ultimately passed away. But that all happened during this school year, right? And so, I think sometimes people forget that, one, I have to do my job, right? So if you're cutting up, not doing what you're supposed to do, I got to say something, right? On top of that, I got to deal with all kinds of things outside of school stuff. So if kids are having crises at home or traumatic events happen with them, there's a kid here who dad just died a couple of weeks ago, dropped dead, right? And so I got to deal with that. Miss Whitley got to deal with that.
Console them and stuff
but I also got to keep the school running, right, in terms of culture. So on top of all of that, and then on top of my own personal life, right, it's a lot to deal with. And so I guess when I tell you things I just don't think people understand. And it's not your fault. You guys are kids, so I don't blame you for it. But this is the reality. Like, that's my reality.
There's nothing we can
and
do
so
about it.
The first quarter, I was really not myself. I tried to be myself as much as I could. I'm finally starting to feel like I'm getting back to myself, which is why you see things like the Duralabel collab and all of that, because I have time to focus on stuff. But the first quarter, I did not have time to focus on anything. And so, I just think people forget that sometimes the adults around here also have lives.
So you heard it here. The teachers and administration have lives too. Yeah. So y'all have to take that into consideration too.
Yeah. But I will say, like, the other side of me loves that you guys pass around photos and all that nonsense because it's high school. Like, that's what high school kids are supposed to do. You all somehow think it hurts my feelings. But like, I have a picture.
I'm just saying. He seen the photo.
That one photo of him with that blue shirt and froze on.
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
I laugh because it's funny to me too.
When I saw that picture, I'm like, bro, I'm like, why does it look like Jerry?
But like, this is me. Like, I'm happy to. Like, it doesn't matter because I was a kid. And
who did that to you?
Right.
Who did that to you?
Who put me in the Michigan starter?
No. Who did that to you?
That picture?
Yes. No. Who
That's just
took a
picture.
picture?
Oh, I took a pic. That was from my house. But the thing about it is, like, you guys are going to see yourselves 10 years from now and laugh too.
And laugh too,
like, what did I have
and
on?
Like, what was I thinking?
Right.
Like,
so like
what was I wearing that day?
So, like, I hate to break it to everybody, but like,
what was that haircut?
Exactly. But like, so I hate to break it to everybody, but that stuff does not hurt my feelings.
Right.
Like, makes me laugh because it's so high school.
And reminisce about the old days.
But what I do think is funny is that if the roles were reversed, people would be really mad. Right?
I'm pretty sure.
And so I always think that part is funny. Because, again, we are still humans. Luckily, I happen to be a confident human. And so stuff like old pictures of me going around, like, that's just what I was on at that time in my life. And
the only thing is, where did I be getting these pictures from?
Well, the one with the bandana is my Facebook profile picture. So I'm sure if you Google, and I haven't been on Facebook in years, but I'm sure if you Google my name, you'll find all kinds of pictures. And so I'm not.
Hold on. Who took the time to look up another
probably somebody who
man.
probably somebody who comes to school and says they hate me.
Took the time to look up another grown man name and find that picture just to put it out there. Yeah. That's lame, for real. Like, dog, you corny. But at least he took it because he could have took it multiple different.
But you're right, because I could have turned this whole school upside down.
Right.
Suspended all kinds of folks.
And found out who took that.
Right.
Found
but
that
it's not that
Yeah.
serious. It's just not that serious. Have a laugh. I want you guys to laugh. Be kids. That's kid stuff. So I'm good with it. Now, don't take it too far.
But I understand what you mean, like, especially with people in your family passing and how people deal with it different ways. And ultimately, sometimes people shut down and don't know what to do with themselves, wake up every day and don't feel like themselves anymore. I understand how that feels because
everybody
back in middle
should.
school, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'm agreeing with you. Everybody should know in some way how it feels to lose someone.
Yeah.
And how it feels, because I know at least one person in this school has shut completely down me, for example. When my great-grandmother died, that was the closest person in my life. When she died, I was 10 years old. She used to give me the biggest marshmallows. And then one day I went to her house and my auntie said she passed away. I did not go to school for a week. It was all excuse. I still got my work done. But I did not go to school for a week because I could not stop crying. I woke up crying. I went to sleep crying. I cried through the day. I couldn't eat. I couldn't, So that, like, everybody has to understand when someone is going through something, please don't test me. Please don't.
But it's like, it's also not something I shared with everybody. Like, I got some things you all don't know. It's like I got a room of seniors together, and I had told them this was before my dad died. Like, it's probably going to happen soon. So if I'm not around, like, I need you all to hold it down. So, like, some seniors knew. Not even all the teachers. They probably still don't know. But I was out for a week in the beginning of the year. Luckily, when my dad died, we had that 4-day weekend in October, so I didn't need to take any time off for real. But anyway, it's all good. Like, if you want more personal information, I can give it to you. When I was 5 years old, and I don't know how much longer we have, but when I was 5 years old, my parents divorced. My dad moved to California from DC, Mm-hmm. And so we spent summers with our dad. We went to school at home in D.C. with our mom. So in 96, I know this all sounds like forever ago, but in 1996, my dad moved back to Detroit. And so I actually spent summers here, even though I always say I'm from D.C. I spent about 8 summers here as a kid. So like when I say I used to play basketball and do all of that, like I went to the University of Detroit basketball camp every year. Harbor Town, you guys know where that is on Jefferson?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where my dad lived. So that's like we grew up in there. And so when I moved to Detroit from DC, it wasn't totally random. Like I'm pretty familiar here. But I was grateful to spend 4 years. I've been here for 4 years now. I was grateful to spend those 4 years with my dad, like, you know, not coming in here for the summer, but, you know, full time being in the same city. So that was the first time that ever happened. And I was 29 years old when that started. And so very grateful for the time. So I'm not really that sad about it. Obviously it's sad just because he died. He's not around, but beyond that, I'm just happy he's not sick anymore.
It just doesn't feel the same when that one person is just not there anymore. You can't talk to them. It's like they're not in another state. They're not in another country. You cannot contact them anymore. It's like
but I'm just happy he's not sick anymore. So it's
and he's in a better place.
Let's not forget, he's 33. He's born in 86. You old.
I'm getting there.
You old.
Getting there.
So when's your birthday, old man?
March 20th, 1986.
March 20th, all right. March 20th.
It's Pisces season. I don't know what that means, but that's what people tell me.
Just so you know, March 30th, his birthday comes
20th.
20th? Dang, I said 30th.
People know.
I'm not thinking. 20th, when his birthday
when
roll
that
around.
I want a free dress on my birthday.
When his birthday come around, everybody need to say happy birthday to him. You know, give him a couple licks. You know, not too hard, otherwise he might suspend you. Depending on how hard the hit is.
I could hit you back.
That's worse. We don't want to start a full fight between a dean and some students. That'll make headlines real fast.
Yeah, we try not to make too many headlines.
Any publicity is good publicity.
No, that's not.
Yes, it is. Any publicity is good publicity.
Speaking of birthdays, my birthday is next Monday, November 25th.
Yeah, my birthday.
Oh, we got a free dress on your birthday.
I know, the pajama day.
Day after Christmas, my birthday. We ain't gonna be here anyway.
You can free dress.
I've never celebrated my birthday anyway in school.
That's tough. When you come back, you get a free dress, Caleb.
Oh yeah, yes sir. I need those. But so thank you, Lawrence. You know, for talking. You know, talking on the podcast, talking to the kids.
Let me just say this. I know this is a part of the Panther Press. Everybody is a big fan of the Panther Press. I want you all to keep going, keep making great articles. I did tell Kutchi, and so I'm going to put this on the record, that I would love it to be a print edition at the semester.
He spoke with us about that.
So whatever we got to do to make that happen, let's do it. But this is a great component of it. I'm going to tune in to all the other ones that you all have. How often are you guys doing this?
We're trying to do it every Thursday.
Every Thursday? Okay. So, you know, obviously let us know what we need to do to promote it. Happy that it exists. So, anyway, it's great job.
Thank you for the day. And thank you for all who are tuning into the Prep Talk podcast. And we'll see you all on the next one. Peace.